Chapter 12. Before Grandpa comes into the room, I can smell his aftershave. Shave enter the kitchen. It's a woodsy smell, sort of like a pile of pine boughs after a spring thunderstorm, strong yet simple. Did I hear someone say Auntie Auber? Oh no, I think I had better go up to the old place and check on the ponies, he says, trying not to make eye contact with his wife. From the few days I've been here, I've learned that the old place is the 40 acres Grandpa owns. It's his childhood land where he grew up, and a place he spends a lot of time. He told me that there is a horse up there he's just dying to meet me. I may have to check that out. I do have cowboy boots now, you know. Yee-haw. But right now, 40 acres of land sounds to me like the perfect place for him to hide. Xavier, Grandma sighs. Apple has been having some dreams at night that she would like some answers to. I thought it might be a good idea to visit Aunt Auber, because of Auber's ability. Those ponies sure need, Grandpa starts to say, but is cut off. Old man, you're going. Get crackin', my love. Grandpa sighs with his eyes to the ceiling, shakes his head, and begins to laugh. Well, I guess I better pack my tool belt. Old Auber will put me to work in no time. Grandma offers no sympathy. Ah, bien. Well, she's family and has no husband anymore to help her around the house. Looking at me, she adds, that's what we do. We look out for elders and take care of them. And sometimes, she says, looking at Grandpa, sometimes we have to make our people remember to honor their elders, whether they're 16 or 60. She and Grandpa share a smile. After Grandpa leaves, I turn and ask, so what exactly are we going to see? We are going to see her. So why exactly are we going to see her? Is this something about my dreams? Then glancing around for eavesdroppers, I add, she's not into voodoo, is she? I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. Apple, now you listen to me, my girl. We Turtle Mountain Indians do not practice voodoo or any such nonsense. There is only one person we worship, the Creator, and don't you go thinking otherwise. Her eyes soften as she sees my embarrassment. See, you come from a long line of Medits, or mixed blood Indians. We're a blend of Cree, French, and even some Chippewa. The missionaries who first came here were French priests, Catholic. Whatever religion first got to a reservation was the main religion that was taught. Many times this tradition has carried on throughout history. She continued, long ago, when fur trapping and trading was a matter of survival for our tribe, some of our people interacted and intermarried with the French-Canadian fur traders and trappers. French, the language of voyageurs, became just another tongue for us here. There is no way to be a Mashif. There is no one way to be a Mashif. Remember, we usually call ourselves Mashif, okay? Some up here follow more traditional Chippewa or Obiji traditions. Some, like our family, follow the mixed culture, including the French influences, both language and food. She adds a smile with a wink and whispers, but remember, no one can resist a Turtle Mountain girl, true back then and true today. So I'm still confused. What does Auntie Auber do then? Well, she has a gift of interpreting dreams. Sometimes dreams are nothing but a release of our daily stresses, but other times, well, there is much meaning, which I have a feeling is your case, my girl. Okay, so how do I go about asking her what my dream means? I ask. Grandma smiles. Well, when you ask a favor of an elder, especially one of the traditional Indians who lives up in the hills, you should bring a gift. I must have had that sounds like a voodoo look to me on my face, so she explained further. Like I said, my girl, we believe in one creator and do not worship the created. Some things are traditional up here, though. Auntie Auber is a traditional Indian and follows more of the Indian way. For someone traditional, giving tobacco is what you do when asking a favor for them. In this life and way she's chosen to live. So I'll just stop at the store and get some. No, Grandma, I interrupt. Let me get it. It's the least I could do. You have done so much for me already. I think I can handle buying some tobacco. Well, just to be sure, I'll call ahead to give my okay. You can go to Dan's truck stop, just down the road. They know me there, and if it's for an offering, they'll let you buy it. I think you need to be 18 years old to buy tobacco nowadays. Sounds good. Hey, Grandma, do they have spicy cheese puffs? Suddenly, I feel independent and a bit daring. Garbage cans beware. So I'm off to Dan's truck stop, which is a 2-minute walk down the road. As I pass the neighbor's home, I realize how different they are from the houses back in Minneapolis. Back there around Lake Minnetonka, there are only imposing structures of beige brick or tower fortresses made of faux fur river stones. Every house attempts to appear different, but all end up looking the same, built from the same cookie cutter home kit. Yet here in the Turtle Mountains, I have yet to see anything close to the color of beige. There's the pink house, or is it salmon, next to its beautifully bright turquoise house that you can't help but smile at. I see creativity, and it may sound silly, but a freedom to paint your house here the way you see fit, not to simply obey the beige rule of boredom. As I reach to pull open the door to Dan's store, an arm appears out of nowhere to prop open the door for me. Well, looky here, it's my favorite little fruit. My head jerks to the sound of the voice, and before even looking, I already know its owner. That man, my mother's old neighbor Carl, was smirking down at me. Alongside Carl looked to be three miniature replicas standing next to him. I'm assuming they're his offspring. From what I know of him already, I think God should have broken the mold after that one. I'm trapped in a little entry and trapped somewhere between heaven and hell with Carl as the gatekeeper. Now, what brings the Indian princess away from her protectors? Didn't you know there are wild savages in this here parts? Carl's minions laugh at this. I look nervously around, hoping to recognize someone, anyone who could help me. But Carl's hapless little entourage blocks the exit door. I'm forced in between all of them. There's something stirring down in the depths of my soul, and I can feel it rising. Boys, this here is Apple. Her mama and me were real close back in high school. At the sound of my name, the tallest boy spits out the soda he was swallowing. Apple? Are you kidding me? He glances from me to his dad and back again. Exactly what is it these guys have against my name? The tall mini Carl continues. Apple? From the looks of ya. He snarls, looking me up and down. That name fits you just right. The comet sends his brothers into a laughing fit that reminds me of a pack of hyenas circling their prey. Carl must notice the blank look on my face. Hey, rich girl, you don't really know what we're talking about, do ya? He flicks his cigarette on the floor in the store. I really think that even in North Dakota, littering is a misdemeanor, Carl, I so wisely state. My voice is clearly wavering like a carnivore stalking his prey. He can sense my fear. Looking up at him, I ask, are you the one leaving things at my After a quick peek over his shoulder, he cuts me off and gets down into my face and whispers so his boys can't hear. Look here, girl. Ain't nothing I want more than to send you on your merry way. But first things first, your mama owes me something, and since she ain't here no longer, it looks like I'll have to collect it from you. Or just give me the money and I'll call it even. I can smell cigarettes on his breath along with disgust in his mouth for me. I try to dig in my purse for any money I have to throw at him, but oh no, here it comes. Spiraling up from my heart comes the one thing I do not need right now. Please, please, not now. Not with him. It's another one of my weird questions. It's intended for Carl. Try as I may to quell my words, they defy me and push up past my throat. How many greatest hit albums does Barry Manilow have out? As I ask this insane question, I can just see out the corner of my eye that this sends Carl back a step. He's looking at me with widened eyes and mouth slightly open. It's just enough to distraction for me to push past him and enter the store. I run past the entryway and enter Dan's truck stop and convenience store as quickly as I can go, considering my legs are wobbling like lime jello. The only decent flavor, by the way. There are a few people lingering about in the store, and I know they saw what was going on in the entryway with Carl and his mini minions. It seems that in this town, some people are afraid to step in when it comes to Carl. After walking around the perimeter of the store, who knew you could buy pickled flavored chewing gum? My heart slows to a nearly human beat, and my memory finally comes back to me. I'm here on a mission to buy some tobacco for an offering to Aunt Auber. I peruse most of the aisles until I hit the pay dirt in aisle 4. Personal hygiene products and tobacco. But there's only one problem now. How do I know which tobacco product to get? My heart skips a beat as I look out the window and spot Carl and his boys gassing up his truck and the oldest tall boy heading to pay. I quickly grab the nearest package of tobacco from the shelf and head to the counter to pay. I throw down a $20 bill and tell the clerk to keep the change. She looks at the change I left and then at me like I'm Mother Teresa and yells a hearty thanks to me as I run out the side door. Out the door on the opposite side of the building from the gas pumps, I peer around the trash bins to see if Carl's still there. I can see a silver truck pull out and head back into town. Even though the coast is clear, my head isn't. I can feel my heart beating fast again, like I just ran a marathon, but I need to get back to the house. The entire way home, I keep saying to myself, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. I figured if it worked for Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, it'd work for me. After all, it brought her home after a crazy adventure, and I feel like I'm smack dab in the middle of my own voyage. But if a witchy woman pedals past me with a dog in a basket, I'll freak more than I already am. Luckily, I'm able to make it back to my grandma's without any more run ins from Captain Carl and the crew. What in the world does that man have against me and my name? And why does my name seem to send him and his boys into a fit of laughter? Hopefully, Grandma and Grandpa can fill me in a bit on Carl on our way to Auntie Aubrey's house. And why would my mother take anything from him? He said she owes him something. After heading into the trailer, it's really more of a soft shade of cherry blossom. I finished getting ready for our visit to Auntie Aubrey's. This time, I don't even think of what to wear. I look in my closet, and even with all the designer outfits I bought, I honestly can say I have nothing to wear. I mean, really, you know what happened to my expensive pumps after my last foray into the bush. And I'm starting to realize that the more expensive something is, the less practical it is. So I settle on a pair of Levi's from my mom's dresser, a white button down shirt, and my now favorite cowboy boots. Fashionistas, eat your heart out. Junior ends up coming with us. He shows up bringing grandpa a horse halter that needs repair. Apparently, my grandfather is a jack of all trades and can fix anything. I hope he can repair the fear in my heart. Just as we're about to head out down the driveway in Grandpa's truck to Auntie Aubrey's, we see a cloud of dust kicking up a storm down the street, and what looks like someone riding a battled old bike. Grandma, with a bent smile, puts her hand on Grandpa's arm to slow him down and to wait for the cyclone to approach. Wait, Musham, Kukam, Apple, wait! I know who it is before the dust settles. Little Ends, or Nezzy, as people up here call her. In the backseat of the Ford pickup, Junior is puckering his lips at me, then continues the lip point to the seat next to me. Okay, I get it, Junior. You don't have to yell at me. I'm moving over. Cripes. Still stewing about the run-in with Carl as Nezzy walks towards the truck, I lean over and whisper to Junior. Junior, what is an apple? I mean, what? Junior, what is an apple? I mean, what does it have to do with Indian people? Apple as in Granny Smith? Golden Delicious? Is he saying I'm a frumpy green Indian? Junior spits out a soda he was drinking and laughs, but he cuts it short. He raises one eyebrow and glances at my grandparents in the front seat. Quickly answers while shaking his head. I hate that term. It's saying that means an Indian person ain't all Indian through and through. It means they look Indian on the outside but aren't native all the way through. Like red on the outside but white on the inside. Where'd you hear that? I just shake my head. This isn't the time to ask him more, but I get the picture. Carl is trying to take the one positive thing in my life right now, being part of my Indian Turtle Mountain relatives, and turn it ugly. How dare someone tell me what I am on the inside? I know that this is my first time to the res, but come on. Who is Carl to tell me what it means to be Indian? If I wanted to use a food reference to describe Carl, it would be a prune. Dark and craggy on the outside, disgusting on the inside, with a nasty after effect to your bowels later. My mind is brought back to the present as I hear Nessie yelling again. I move over to make room for her in the back seat of the pickup.